Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another podcast at Biohacks with Dr. D. So listen, today we're going to tear it up. We're going to talk about the future of medicine, guys. Because listen, medicine is moving too slow. Our country is sick. The world is sick. And America, we need to get our act together, because I'm going to tell you something. When America sneezes, the rest of the world catches a cold, and it's a problem. And the thing is, America, we're leading the way in being the most sickest country in the world, my friends. 30% of the United States suffers with insomnia. 70% of the United States consumes all the worldwide prescription pills, guys. Think about that for a second. And then you go to your doctor, and your doctor tells you you're sick. It runs in your family. It's in your DNA. It's in your genetics. And the truth of that is wrong. Why? Because today we have innovation. We have a new line of medicine, a new way of thinking, and it's called epigenetics, guys. Epigenetics is the groundbreaking framework of understanding how our body works and understanding the different ways that we can improve our lifestyle in order to improve our health. So guys, follow me along today as we get into this podcast, the future of medicine, different modalities, how to slow down the rate of aging and improve your performance. So let's get started, guys. So a lot of people come to us asking, Doc, I want to increase my performance. I want to increase my sex drive. I want to have more energy. I want to have more focus. I want to sleep better. I want to be in a better mood. I want to have better memory. I want to concentrate better. Guys, the list goes on and on. People trying to understand how they can improve their life in different modalities. And all of us have areas that we would love to improve. Some of you guys would be cardiovascular fitness. Some of you guys just merely want to improve your digestion. And some of you guys just merely want to improve your sex life with the missus at night. So all of us have room for improvement, and performance is the name of the game. But performance has never been an area that has been focused upon in medicine. The thing is, we look at performance in medicine as something very banal, something that's not scientific, something that isn't taken seriously. And heck, it's not even taught in medical schools, to tell you the truth. We don't learn anything about performance. All we learn how to do is fix the broken car. That's right. We don't learn how to tune Ferraris to be the best and fastest cars. We learn how to just simply fix the problems when they happen. And that's not what we're here for. And the world is looking to feel healthier. The world is tired of being sick. We're tired of being told that we're being plagued by chronic diseases. And today I'm going to empower you guys by helping you to understand the framework of thinking that will allow you to perform at a higher level. And here's the thing. Performance, pay very close attention to what I'm going to tell you right now. Pay super close attention. Performance and aging are measured by the same system. What do I mean by this? I can increase your performance drastically. I can tell you what performance enhancement drugs, PDs, for you to take that you will look great, move great, be really fast, etc. But however, those same performance enhancement drugs will hurt you in the long term, guys. So things like your oxandrolone, also known as Anavar, stanozolol, also known as Winstrol, and all these different performance enhancement drugs, okay? Tons of them. And I don't want to make this podcast about that. That's not my interest or my goal at all, and I stand heavily against these things. But the thing is, we can make a human perform at a very high level. And guys, don't be fooled. A lot of your favorite Instagram heroes that tell you that they're eating liver and tell you that they're eating whatever, and don't use this and don't use that, or eat broccoli all day, most of them are taking something. But the truth of the matter is, when you increase performance, okay, when you increase performance the correct way, you also slow down your aging. Are you following along? Because if I increase your performance the wrong way, I'll accelerate your aging. So I'll decrease health span and lifespan. You get it? You see how powerful this is? And why does the body correspond to this or act this way? Because when I give the body, all right, when I give the body a molecule that it considers foreign, it doesn't know what it is. So when you inject, for example, a molecule that's a derivative of a testosterone, and most of the performance enhancement drugs, they are derivatives of something called DHT, dihydrotestosterone. which is not testosterone itself. It's a more powerful and potent version. What happens is your body doesn't recognize literally the molecule. Your body doesn't know what the molecule is. And if you're a big nerd and you want to get into these molecules, I invite you to go to pubchem.gov. Pubchem.gov. Most doctors live on pubmed.gov. But on PubChem is the where all the publications of every molecule, every protein ever known to man has to be published on pubchem.gov. So any medication you're curious about, and if you really want to go deep, look up the molecule on pubchem.gov. Any medication, even your Tylenol, right? Acetaminophen if you live in the United States, or paracetamol if you live in Europe or other countries, will be there. Your Advils, which are your ibuprofens, and all that stuff is there. Anything you can imagine, just go look up the molecular formula if you want to get that nitty gritty. But the point I want to make is, if you look at these molecules are not bioidentical, meaning they do not have an innate place for them to fit in the human body. Do you understand how powerful this is? Are you guys following along? Meaning, when you take a molecule that your body doesn't know what it is, your body will call over the immune system and attack it. It'll be like, hey guys, come over here. I don't know what this is. I need to attack this. It will literally mount an immune response and attack it. And then it does this over and over and over and over again, because you are taking the same thing over and over and over again. And guys, this concept is widely observed all over the place. You could see this with gluten, for example, where the gluten starts to attack your gut barrier. You could see this with glyphosates, herbicides, pesticides, endocrine disruptors. You see this concept over and over and over. And your medication or your favorite performance enhancement drug is doing the same freaking thing to your body. Do you guys understand? So what happens is then your body, the medication is having its effect. It could be a stupid Adderall, and the correct adjective is stupid. That thing is not good for you, causes problems in the long term, really, really bad for you. These so-called smart drugs, the modafinils, the Ritalins, the Adderalls, etc. You might think you're doing more work, doing yourself a big favor, but you're destroying your health, because over and over your body starts attacking it. No, I'm not talking about the side effects, not even the side effects that this stuff does. I'm talking about the effect of the medication on your body's immune system. Now, the thing is, if you destroy your immune system, you effectively are aging faster. You're aging faster if you destroy your immune system. But one of the first studies to show that you can slow human aging is called the TRIM trial. Go ahead, look this up. TRIIM stands for thymic regeneration, insulin mitigation, and immune restoration. Okay? And those are the three pillars of restoring age to humans. So one of the pillars, which is thymic regeneration, immune restoration, and insulin mitigation, one of them, immune restoration, is a pillar for your body to slow the rate of aging. So when you restore your immune system, you actually slow down the rate of aging. But however, if you're putting a bunch of pesky little agents, a bunch of garbage in your body, you're destroying your immune system. It's the other way around. You're destroying the immune system. And effectively, you're inflammaging. What? What'd you say? Yeah, inflammaging. Inflammation and aging also go together. So you see, you can't compartmentalize your performance. And the problem is with medicine today, it is so compartmentalized that doctors know so much of nothing. And then when you try to put this all together, they don't understand. But in the performance and holistic spaces, when truly, like Beethoven said, the person has a true understanding of their science, they can reach the divine. And same thing goes for being an artist as it relates to your health. And I consider myself an artist as it relates to medicine and understanding medicine. So here's the thing. When looking at your health, I want you to really understand performance and aging go together. And then the unit in the middle is your immune system. Because if you irritate your immune system will effectively age you. And guys, there's many things that can irritate your immune system, including stress. When you're overtly stressed, you actually shut off the immune system. I mean, it's insane. But we're not going to go down that rabbit hole right now. So I want you to understand the concept of inflammaging. So if you give your body foreign substances that it does not know what it is, your body will effectively incite the immune system to come attack it. And that's where you start to develop issues at different areas of the body. And that's where, for example, your gut is one of the first places to go because it starts to struggle with the gut barrier. So, and then not only the barrier, that gut barrier is the problem, then you got issues with your blood-brain barrier and even your testicle barriers. Yes, you can develop antibodies to your sperm, boys. Yeah, that's a big, big thing. So there's all this whole philosophy with barrier medicine, et cetera. I'm not going to go down this rabbit hole and start explaining different pathways and different organ systems and cellular processes that can be damaged. I'm going to keep it high level today. But the point is, I want you to understand that your immune system can effectively suffer a lot if you're not using bioidentical substances for your body. And here's the funny thing. Your body is either in a state of construction or in a state of destruction. There's no in between. So you're either having your body grow and have your body develop itself, or you're effectively destroying yourself. So there's no in between, guys. And this is something that I want you guys to really take this home, because your immune system functions the same way. Now, instead of giving yourself substances that will destroy your body, how about now you give your body substances that, watch the word I'm going to use right now, that are resources for your body to function. Watch this. Does testosterone cause cancer? Short answer, if it's not bioidentical, yes, it can cause cancers. Does estrogen cause cancer? Short answer, yes, it can cause cancers if it's not bioidentical. Right? I've given this example before in other podcasts, but I'll say it here again, in case you haven't heard this before. For example, I love to talk about this drug called Premarin. Premarin is estrogen that you give women that are in menopause or after menopause, which the classic age in the United States is 51 and a half years old. You give this woman estrogen, but it's not the same estrogen that her body produces. It's called Premarin. Premarin stands for pregnant mare urine. It's horse piss, guys. It's urine from horses that pharmaceutical companies have these horses, give them impregnate them, give them Flomax, collect the urine, crystallize the urine, and make medication out of it, and then give it to women. So you're giving estrogen from horses to women. But the problem with that is the estrogen formula is flipped. Women, their estrogen is 80% estradiol and 20% estriol. The horse is the other way around. 80% is estriol and then 20% is estradiol. Guess what happens? You give the woman the estrogen, the Premarin from the horse. She feels okay, but down the line, she coughs up a cancer. And then people say, oh my gosh, bioidentical hormones cause cancer. Yes, they do cause cancer if they're not bioidentical. However, women need those hormones, but they need the hormones that their body's not producing. They need the bioidentical hormones. Now, when you give the woman those hormones, when you give grandma the hormones, and you got to be careful, guys. I won't get into how to do this. If she's too advanced in age, I just want to correct myself here because I said grandma. If she's too advanced in age, you can't start straight with hormones. You got to do lighter things like pregnenolone and things like that. That's a conversation for another day. We'll talk about hormones on another day. But if you give a woman in her 60s, 65, et cetera, you start giving her hormones and she hasn't had hormones in a few years, she's going to start feeling a lot better. Her memory, mood, focus, concentration, libido, everything starts to improve. Even her DEXA scan. What's a DEXA scan? Is the bone density test. All right, that's the official machine that hospitals have to check for osteoporosis. Even her osteoporosis starts to improve. Now, you can say she's performing at a higher level, but guess what happens to what we're able to verify through epigenetic biological clocks. So these aging clocks. This is the term that we use for the tests in order to see how old somebody is. They're called biological aging clocks. In this case, we use epigenetic aging clocks. These clocks are phenomenal in terms of what they can tell us, right? And there's many of them, Grim Age, Pheno Age. I particularly subscribe by a company called True Diagnostic. They're the most advanced, and they have the best tests with the highest ICC scores. I won't get into this right now, but these tests are graded by the ICC scores, and their ICC scores are the highest. So when you use these epigenetic aging clocks on these people that are using the bioidentical hormones, that are not using foreign substances, that are giving the body the things it needs, guess what happens? Their rate of aging starts to slow down. And their health span starts to improve, and their lifespan starts to improve, which are two different things, guys. And then you start to see that the person starts to live a better life. They start to have a better quality of life, and the person effectively becomes happier, okay? So are you starting to understand how performance and aging run in the same household? It's the same thing. There's no such thing as taking performance one way and aging another. Think of you owning a classic Ferrari, a Ferrari from 1960. To keep the thing performing at the highest level possible, you have to conserve it. You have to preserve it as much as you can in order for it to still keep its level of performance. You understand? And the thing is, you can't do this without data. Data is super important. And the best way to understand data on all these modalities is through epigenetics, guys. Epigenetics is the future of medicine. It is here, and it's here to stay. And epigenetics allows us to see the expression of your DNA, effectively allows us to see how much damage your DNA has incurred over your lifespan, and the lifestyle you've given yourself then will show the damage your DNA has incurred. And that is the science of epigenetics. And through epigenetics, we can see what you've been exposed to. We can see what your body is lacking. And we can also see how effectively you are aging and your health span and lifespan. So when I tell you guys these things, this isn't like latest research, etc. This is beyond that. Guys, epigenetics is the new modality of thinking that allows us to really, really understand and hone down this data. And guys, I want to tell you something. The people that will figure out the future of medicine is not hospitals. I personally believe it's not the hospitals. They're dinosaurs. At this point, the research that a lot of hospitals are putting out is very, very outdated for the most part. There's hospitals doing great work, but for the most part, it's very outdated, old school. People still, doctors still saying cholesterol is bad for you, prescribing you statins, etc. That is old information. The new generation of medicine, the people that will fix the problems that we currently have are the tech companies, are giant tech companies, and the people from that space, the people that, like, look at Elon Musk with Neuralink, etc. These are the people that will come up and give medicine its new renaissance, because the truth is medicine is old. Medicine is outdated. I mean, we still use the EKG that Einthoven came up with, right, with quartz crystals. Medicine moves very slow. It took Dr. Semmelweis, guys, think about this for a second. It took Dr. Semmelweis in Hungary about 30 years to convince his peers to simply and merely wash hands so people wouldn't die in surgeries. That's right. They would make fun of Dr. Semmelweis, a Hungarian doctor, for suggesting the other doctors to wash their hands. It sounds pretty ridiculous, but it's absolutely true. Medicine moves very, very slowly. But today we live in a day and age where you're in control. If you go and do your little silly checkup, it's not going to give you much information. All it's going to do is give you a false sense of assurance that you're healthy. It's going to give you a false pat on the butt that, hey, I'm fine. But let me tell you something. Sometimes a prostate cancer takes 10 years to form. Sometimes another cancer takes 15 years to form. It's baking in the oven for 5 years. Or plaque in the heart takes years to form, 40, 50 years to form. And you go to your doctor and he says, you're fine. Your cholesterol's a little high. Take a statin. Oh, your sugar's a little high. Take some metformin. And that's it. Did you know the average doctor in the United States only uses 7 drugs to prescribe on a day-to-day basis? That's it, 7 drugs. That's the average that he uses. So it forces the doctor to think one size fits all, checkup mentality, and not think outside the box. You guys need to be going to doctors and health professionals that will collect the most amount of data on your body. Doctors that will look at your gut. will understand if your gut has is leaking, will look at your gut to understand if you have issues with gluten, wheat, etc. Will look at your gut to understand if you have issues with dairy. Will look at your brain to see if you have leaky brain. It is a phenomenon. So blood-brain barrier, BBB, blood-brain barrier, if you have issues with your blood-brain barrier. Because guess what? If you start to have issues with your blood-brain barrier, more than likely you're going to have cognitive issues down the line. You need to go to a doctor that does, for example, a neuroquant on you. I, once a year, do neuroquants to see how my brain is developing or involuting in certain areas. So that's where you go to different areas of your brain, like the pallidum, the hippocampus, substantia nigra, the thalamus, all these different areas of your brain to understand how it's developing or involuting. And to tell you the truth, mine's developing pretty well. I have one little area that's not doing so good. And, I use that as an excuse for my wife when I start to mess up or I forget things. I'm like, honey, it's that MRI that I did. And, that little area has to get improved. Right? So these things are always good to follow along and keep track of. You want to go to a doctor that's going to test you even with artificial intelligence for your heart. There's great exams now called Clearly, for example. Clearly is artificial intelligence for the heart to understand how plaque is developing. If your doctor's still doing, for example, calcium scores on you, that's old school. Who cares about the calcified plaque? Well, the thing is, calcified plaque, it's just calcified. That's actually your body trying to fix the problem. We care about the soft and inflamed plaque. That's the one that usually causes the problems. Guys, the list goes on. There's things that you can check on, for example, endocrine disruptors. You could check for toxic halides. You could check for neurotransmitter imbalances, etc., and correlate this all with the person's epigenome. You can correlate this with how the person's epigenetic effectively looks. Because in truth, your epigenome will improve again. Remember, I said this in the beginning, I'll say it again, will improve when your immune system is improving. As your immune system improves, so does your epigenome. So does the expression of your DNA. So if you're not taking care of your immune system by eliminating toxins, by eliminating endocrine disruptors, by giving your body the resources it needs to function, guess what's going to happen? You're going to start aging faster and your performance is going to drop. But the thing is, hear me out on this. If you give your body the resources it needs, if you fix what's broken in your body by giving the body the resources it needs, you're going to improve your rate of aging and your performance is going to go up. That's when you start to see your memory, your focus, your concentration, your mood, etc., your libido, everything improving. And I'll tell you more. We live in a day and age now where people are looking for this. People talking about what's the latest peptide, what's the latest hormone that I can use. And now for you guys that are a little bit more advanced in the functional medicine space for quite some time, let me tell you guys this, because I see this issue a lot, okay? And as we wrap up here, guys, I want you to understand this. I see people asking me, Doc, what's the best peptide so I can get strong? What peptide did the Incredible Hulk take, right? Like, how do I turn green and get really big? Oh, and by the way, guys, don't forget, the Incredible Hulk, he's a doctor. Bruce Banner, he's a doctor. So if I ever turn green and get really strong, I figured out the formula, okay? I always say this. So anyhow, people want to know, how do they become the Incredible Hulk? How do they feel great, etc.? And it's like, what peptide? You have to stop thinking that way. That's what Western medicine has taught us this whole time. A pill for this, a pill for that, an injection for this, an injection for that. Peptides don't make you feel a certain way. Peptides fix the functioning of your body in general and then make you feel great. But the thing is, if you don't give the peptide the resources it needs to function, guess what? Then your body won't function optimally. Because the peptide, all it's doing, it's a signal. It's an epigenetic signal, meaning it goes to your DNA and unlocks a certain area and tells your body to produce more of something or produce less of something, et cetera, et cetera. So if you don't have the bricks, the cement, the building blocks for your body to effectively carry out the action that the peptide is saying, guess what's going to happen? It's not going to happen. That's the problem. So for you guys that are more advanced and understand this, and you're not using the silly substances, you're not putting the bad things in your body, you're following a good diet, you're not consuming foods that are endocrine disruptors, you're trying to stay away from the EMF, you're really putting in some, you're avoiding the volatile organic compound, or cleaning your house of volatile organic compounds, the stuff coming out of your ACs, etc. For those of you guys that are really doing some really good stuff in this direction, the thing is that I see a lot with you guys is as you put things into your body, you put it in segmented format, but things go together. It's like a big garden. Your garden needs to grow together. You're not just going to go take care of the tomatoes or to go take care of the broccoli. No, it's all together. The body is this beautiful framework, a system, a beautiful biochemistry that once you give it the resources it needs, then you want to know how you're going to feel good? Listen very well to what I'm going to tell you. When you're doing a good job, you're going to have the same feeling I have right now and today. I'm going to look back at my day today before I go to bed and say, damn, I did a lot of stuff. I trained hard. I had great relationships today. I did great things. I had great conversations. I played with my son. I hung out with my wife, and I go to bed feeling like I'm putting a champion to rest at the end of the day. And no artificial this and no artificial that, an injection of this crap or pill of that crap. You see what I'm saying? It's in retrospect that you understand you're performing at a high level. It's when you look back at the end of the day, when you look back at the end of the month, when you look back at the end of the year, and you're just like, wow, I did all this stuff feeling great. I look better than ever. I move better than ever. I'm faster than ever. Sex life is great. Energy's great. Mood is great. Guys, you want to know what's the human currency? It's not dollars. It's not crypto. It's not gold. It's your damn energy, bro. It's your energy. So understand your body by collecting data. And with that data, clean up that data so you ultimately clean up the framework of epigenetics in your life. You improve your epigenome. Guess what? Everything starts to improve. Follow your epigenome. Your epigenome is your guiding star. Your epigenome is the key to your vision board. Your epigenome is the key to your dreams. And guys, when you get this right, you'll look at hindsight. You'll look in retrospect and be like, wow, I'm crushing it. So champions, get to work. Improve your health. Improve your life. Love you all. See you on the next podcast. Dr. D. Peace.